Audi's Q7 7-seat luxury SUV has always made a big impact, but the improved version of this second-generation model aims to be a little smarter than its predecessors, in more ways than one. The Ingolstadt brand has not only sharpened the styling, but also introduced efficient mild hybrid and plug-in hybrid technology, standardised air suspension, and installed one of the classiest cabins in the segment. As a result, if you really want a car of this kind, you may well find yourself really wanting this one.
Audi is offering its latest 48-volt mild hybrid engine technology with the revised version of this second-generation Q7. Now that sees an integrated BAS, belt alternator starter generator, powering a 48-volt main electrical setup in which a compact lithium-ion battery in the boot stores energy harvested via a KERS, or kinetic energy recovery system. That additional electricity might be used either to boost the engine when you're accelerating or to restart it when the stop-start system kicks in at low speeds. The technology is seamless and it now features right across the range, which kicks off with two 3-litre V6 TDI options, either the base 45 TDI variant, which has 231 PS, or the 50 TDI power plant, which we're trying here, which offers 286 PS. This engine is one of Audi's best. It's creamy smooth, it's superbly refined, and it's generously torquey, equipped with 600 Newton meters of pulling power, and it's capable of up to 33.2 mpg on the WLTP combined cycle and 180 grams per kilometre of NEDC rated CO2. If you want more power from a black pump fuel version of this SUV, then there's an SQ7 TDI derivative which uses a 4-litre V8 diesel with 435 PS and a thumping 900 Newton meters of torque. The brand can also offer a 3-litre V6 petrol engine used in 340 PS form in the 55 TFSI, but more proactively in two plug-in variants which pair it with an electric motor, which is in turn powered by a 17.3 kWh lithium-ion battery. One of these variants, the 55 TFSI-E model, offers a combined system output of 380 PS, while the other, the 60 TFSI-E competition derivative, well, that features a gutsier 94 kilowatt version of the electric motor, which helps push total output up to 455 PS. TFSI-E variant owners should find that when their cars are fully charged, around 26 miles of all-electric driving range is possible. Whatever Q7 you choose, you'll find that, as before, this isn't a large SUV that particularly likes to be hurried, but there is plenty of cornering traction. That's courtesy of torque vectoring and quattro four-wheel drive, plus a four-wheel steering setup adds extra manoeuvrability to the top Vorsprung spec models. Adaptive air suspension is now standard across the range, and that helps you to cruise over tarmac tears and speed humps. Plus, it lowers the car at highway speeds, and it can be raised for the greater degrees of off-road prowess that you'll probably never need. This second-generation Q7 has always been less showy about its size than its predecessor, with sharp shoulder lines and sculpted lower side blades attempting to subtly disguise its still prodigious bulk. With this improved model, there's still more to distract your attention, thanks to a package of stylistic Q-model hallmark features, mainly borrowed from this car's sportier showroom stablemate, the Q8. Primarily, that means the adoption of this large octagon-shaped single-frame grille with its 6 upright slats. There are changes at the rear too, where a chrome strip carries forward the horizontal bodyline and creates a visual connection between the glistening LED rear lights with their technical-looking graphics. Time to take a look inside. Inside, it's all very different to anything a Q7 driver will have experienced before, thanks to Audi's so-called luxury lounge cabin architecture. Now, you're going to need to like screens because this gloss black panelled layout incorporates no fewer than 3 of them. The two you'll notice first, they power up as soon as the door's opened, and they dominate the upper and lower parts of the shiny centre stack here. The gently curved upper 10.1-inch display deals with the most important radio, media and telephone functions, while the lower 8.6-inch monitor is reserved for more comfort-orientated, mainly climate-related features. Both screens interact with the optional 12.3-inch Audi Virtual Cockpit instrument binnacle screen that you view through this three-spoke wheel here. Provision for cabin storage, well, it's not ideal. Both the central bin between the seats and the door pockets are somewhat restricted in size, but the driving position here is virtually faultless, and the seats are supportive with heating and standard four-way lumbar support. Let's take a look at the second row, access to which is helped by this large door aperture. Passengers back here benefit from Audi's standard rear bench seat plus package, which gives you 3 individual seats, each featuring 110 millimetres of longitudinal travel, so they can be pushed forwards or backwards to maximise either legroom or the space behind. Plus, the outer backrests recline through 16 increments for greater comfort on longer journeys. Okay, what about third row functionality? Now, Audi doesn't pretend this area to be suitable for adults and long distances. With this sloping rear roofline, it could never be. Still, the company's designers have put a great deal of effort into making these rearmost pews decently accessible. Now, you would expect to get to them by pulling the outer middle seat forward. Instead, you fold the backrest down onto its base, and then you pull the folded base up towards the front seat, which frees up a much wider aperture through which you can reach the third row. There's no magic being worked on the available standards of legroom you get once you're back here, though. And for any kind of comfort here as an adult, you're going to have to ask those in the middle row here to push their seats forward a bit. Still, it's really intended for kids of any age. Now, this is one of the very few 7-seat cars we've tested with ISOFIX child seat fastenings fitted to its third row chairs, so Audi gets a big tick for that. Finally, let's take a look at luggage space. Now, as you'll discover when the powered tailgate rises, as usual with large SUVs in this segment, there isn't much of that on offer when all 3 seating rows are in place, just 295 litres of capacity. Most of the time, of course, you'll probably be running this car with these third row chairs folded down. Buttons are provided for the retraction process, both in the cargo area and on each side of the car behind the second row. Once everything's flat, there's a lot of room to play with, 770 litres to be exact in the standard models. Otherwise, getting more room means folding the middle row. The backrest falls in a 35-30-35 split, so if you have a long item to push through, say a set of skis, you may merely need to flatten the centre section. Lower everything and as much as 1,955 litres of fresh air can be created in a standard variant. In summary, a significant package of updates has enabled this Q7 to continue to compete on equal terms with much newer designs in this segment, and that is no mean achievement. Potential buyers will be attracted not only by this SUV's cool, classy feel, but also by strong residuals, which deliver overall running costs which remain very competitive. Other competitors might be glitzier, but this Ingolstadt contender remains an all-round proposition that's very difficult to beat and very Vorsprung durch Technik.